Awakening. Did I say that? That is not who we are, is it? Great Day Awaken? We are Awaken. And I am so happy to hear you and to see your faces and to feel your energy. Awaken spiritual community, great day. Yes, and if you are watching online, thank you so much for choosing to spend an afternoon with us. Happy Sunday, everyone. Yes, I am Kami, and I am so excited to get us started out. Let us just take a moment and do a centering breath. Can we do that together? Inhaling and releasing that breath. Really focusing on why we're here in this moment, in this present time. Being intentional about being here. Let's take in another breath. And exhale. Yes. Understanding that God is right here, right now, the Spirit, the universal mind, infinite source is here, working in and through us, showing up as us right here, right now. Right here, we can recognize and remember the oneness that we have. Y'all ready to get this thing started? Yes. I'm going to ask that you silence your phones. I didn't say that in the beginning. So that we can all make sure that we're not distracted. If you're at home, I'm going to ask that you be really intentional about removing the distraction so that you can just completely lock in and get the gift that is meant for you to have today. One of the things that we know when we remember, and we have this opportunity to know and remember that we are one with the one. Regardless of what has happened in your life, on the way here, in the last 30 minutes, in this week, you get to remember that you are one with the all that is. And in remembering that, you understand that there is freedom. There is freedom in that source, right? Yes, so let's take that into this wonderful service that we have today, knowing that we are going to get exactly what we need. And so we're going to start off celebrating the God, the light, the love that is in each of us. So we're going to take a minute, as Eddie Watkins reminds us that we are Awaken Spiritual Community and we are awakening. And I want you to greet someone as first, before we greet someone, let us greet ourselves. Put your hand over your heart. I am the place where God lives, moves, and has its being. Yes? Say, I am the place where God shows up. Say that one more time like you mean it. I am the place where God shows up. Now, let us greet one another, affirming you are the place where God shows up.
We are awakening. We are awakening. We are awakening. We are awakening. Hey. Hey. We're coming together from the left and the right. To the middle of the road in peace without a fight. Even though we're not gonna see everything alike, we're working together and we're gonna get it right. Yeah. We are awakening. 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 manifest a better way. From every corner to the middle of the way. Yeah. Clap your hands and raise your voice and
Yes.
say, we are awakening. We are awakening. We are awakening.
Yes, we are awakening. At Awaken Spiritual Community, we are awakening. Thank you. You are the place where God shows up. I am the place where God shows up because there's no spot where God is not, right? Yes, yes. We are awakening. So let's slide on into remembering our vision and our mission. Repeat it with me. You will see it. We are a global community that recognizes and honors and nurtures the dignity and uniqueness of all people and the oneness of creation. Breathe that in. And our mission, what we make sure that we do on a regular basis to allow this vision to manifest and be demonstrated, let's read together. We connect through the energy of loving kindness, spiritual practice, and sacred service. Sacred service, yes. So there are a couple of announcements that we're going to have. We have been talking about this for a minute, right? Who is this woman on the screen? Y'all tell me. Ricky Byers, yes. For those of you all that are watching online, this is Ricky Byers. We're not going to hear a video from her today, but I do want to highlight so that you can take a screenshot if you need to. You can write down the link. The tickets are already on sale. There are 3 different ticket options that we have, so it's completely all-inclusive. There's a $40 VIP ticket. There is a $20 reserved seating ticket. And then there is love donation, right? For general admission. October 2nd, it's a Thursday evening. So you want to make sure that you make your way and you bring 2 people. You know, Ricky Byers, do we know? We were listening to her music earlier. And we'll hear her music throughout the service today, but she is flying all the way from California, and she's doing a concert in Asheville. So we just we get to get in on this goodness that she's bringing to the East Coast. So make sure you tell everyone that you know. All right, excellent. And right after that, so that's October 2nd, and then we slide into Dia de los Muertes, or if you celebrate Fall Festival, trunk or treat, right? If you got the kids, bring them out. We're going to need some volunteers to volunteer their trunks so the kids can get treats. Yes, so please see one of us after service. I have a clipboard to fill out so that you can fill out some information. We can get some information from you. If you are not in our space and you're watching online, send us an email comment underneath this service and we will reach out to you. This is the first time that we are doing a trunk or treat. And so we really want to be able to get out into the neighborhood, get out into community and let them know that we are here. Yes, yes? Yes. And so we have partnered with Girl Flow. Girl Flow, yes. If you don't know, Girl Flow is a nonprofit organization that is here. It's local. And they're dedicated to making sure that they end poverty, period poverty. Let me be specific. Period poverty. So I don't know if that makes you squirm in your seat. I've had some adults that go back to middle school when we start talking about menstrual cycles, but it's a thing, right? And so if you can imagine that there are communities of people, of women who don't have what they need to support them when they go through their menstrual cycle. This nonprofit organization ensures that they have the products. So we have a donation box right outside and we're going to have that for the next few Sundays. It doesn't matter, any brand, any size of tampons and pads. Please bring them. Please donate them. Girl Flow, they're committed to stocking the shelves of local schools, of community programs, right, with these essentials that our girls need. I will say, for those of you that are online, if you are in an area where you can't come by and drop off your donation, feel free to ship it to our address. And even for those of you that are here in the house, if you just want to ship some things, 7300 Mallard Creek Road, 28262. Got that? Yes. All right, let's keep it moving. Also for community, we have food resources that are available. Feel free to scan that QR code, fill out that form, and we will be in touch following up to make sure that you are supported with food items that you may need. Again, there is no income requirement. So please, if you even know of someone that's within the Mecklenburg County area, we can support. Awaken, this is part of what we do, right? We started off with our vision and our mission. This is part of that sacred service. It doesn't just happen on Sunday. All righty, and then September 28th, that is next week. Yes? I know. Next week is another Ask and Awaken. And guess what? We need you. We need your food. We want you to bring your food, sign up, make sure you take a screenshot so that you can fill out that form. We just want to know what it is that you're bringing, what it is that you're committed to showing up and helping, because we need volunteers as well. And there's an opportunity for you to put some questions on that form. Reverend Ned and Minister Shari will go over those questions. It's a time for us to celebrate our anniversaries, celebrate our birthdays if we've had any Virgos or September birthdays, and to also just dive a little deeper into New Thought and what New Thought is about. All right, a couple of more announcements. As always, we offer affirmative prayer. We have the beautiful Terry Ann, who is our practitioner serving today. If you need affirmative prayer, would like affirmative prayer, she is available after service in the Lighthouse. If you are online and you're thinking, I want to participate in that, go ahead and send an email to prayer@awakeningcarolina.org, and we will make sure that that happens. Guess what? I know y'all are sick of seeing this slide. We need your special sauce. So again, I said I was going to have my clipboard, right? I have my clipboard in the back. I will be after service, ready to take some information from you and ready to understand what your special sauce is and what it is that you want to be able to give to our community. That was a lot, but you got it. We are on the move, are we not? Yeah. That is worth getting excited about, yes? Yes. All right. Are we ready to go a little bit higher in consciousness and a little bit deeper at the same time? Excellent. Excellent. Come on up. We're going to go into our Science of Mind reading with Marilyn. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. Well, we got an excellent reading today. It's called Begin with Peace in Your Heart. Go to the center of your inner being and radiate peace in every direction. Our wings are small, but the ripples of the heart are infinite. Amit Ray. In this love, I embrace the world and affirm that peace shall come on earth and goodwill exist among people everywhere. And that's Ernest Holmes. We are here together in this moment in history to create more just, compassionate, and a peaceful world. It's easy to be overwhelmed by the need, immobilized by the scope. But remember, none of us is responsible for holding it all. Our small contribution can make a difference in the part of the world within our reach. Today at noon, local time, people around the world will observe a minute of silence in honor of the International Day of Peace. This quiet moment offers us a chance to contemplate our personal contribution to a more peaceful world. Peace on earth begins with peace in your heart. Use your daily spiritual practice to nourish your soul and locate the coordinates of the calm center within. From your calm center, use the power of prayer to send radiant light to the planet and to all suffering beings. From your calm center, use the power of your words to uplift and empower, to build up and bring together. From your calm center, use the power of your actions to show up, volunteer, donate, organize, join a cause. Love, prayer, and compassion action are not the stuff of spiritual lightweights, but the greatest, most powerful forces in the universe. Our united message of oneness can become a massive beacon of divine light. We are together now for just this reason. Let's light the way, shoulder to shoulder, heart to heart, lantern to lantern. Here we stand, souls on deck, illuminating the path of one love, one light, one peace. So I'll say the affirmation and then we'll say it together. I am an infinite, radiant being of love and compassion. I move through the world today as an instrument of peace. I am an infinite, radiant being of love and compassion. I move through the world today as an instrument of peace. So the weekly highlight today, I love that they picked me, Healthy Aging Awareness Month. Yeah, I work on this every day. Okay. This week, our center lifts up Healthy Aging Awareness Month, observed every September. This is a time to raise awareness about the importance of maintaining good health as we grow older and to celebrate the beauty of every stage of life. The purpose of this month is to highlight the positive aspects of aging, encourage proactive steps for health and activity and vitality, and share resources that support living well into later years. At our center, we affirm that aging is not decline, remember that, but divine unfolding, a continual opportunity to live with joy, purpose, and wholeness. And so we affirm that every age holds sacred value and that spirit continues to renew, strengthen, and express itself through us in every season of life. Thanks.
Thank you, Marilyn. Good afternoon. I'm going to invite you to breathe with me. So take a moment and sit as comfortable as possible. Breathe. Breathing into this moment. I invite us to recognize our breath as the one breath, the breath of life. As we inhale and exhale, let us notice how the breath brings us to the present moment every time. Breathe. May we experience the eternal present in our body now. Be with it. Expand with it. Whether we are aware of this or not, we are constantly dancing with our breath, automatically, effortlessly. We are experiencing our unique selves through our breath. And we are also breathing each other. When do we end? And when do others begin? We can experience ourselves, and we can also experience oneness, all in one single breath. When do we end, and when do others begin? Aren't we all not only made of the same stuff, but actually oneness itself? From our unique expression of the one, let's breathe and dance our dance, knowing all is well. Thank you, Spirit, for this breath. Thank you for this moment. I release these words with ease, knowing they are so. And so it is. Take 1 or 2 deep breaths. Coming back.
Thank you, Monste. Some of you may be looking around, or those of you that are joining us online may realize that, wait a minute, there's somebody missing. Minister Shari hasn't been at the front yet. We haven't heard from her, right? And you know, she does so much. I just want to let you know that her godmother passed away, and so there's a memorial service happening this weekend, and so she's in Baltimore, supporting, being with family, moving through that. And so we want to just be really intentional about sending her love as well, right? And holding space for her, and really realizing that as a spiritual being, she is residing in a fleshly body, right? In that human spirit. So I just wanted to make sure that you were aware of that.
What you think about the lyrics? Hold on to what resonates with you. Arising from the dead to find the spirit inside myself, searching love for the deepest parts of me. There's a power, the energy in my soul that sets me free. My heart is open to the heavens, which supplies my source, and it is here, where I can find my promise, where I can find my future so clear, where I have no fear. I can find my promise inside of me. I can find the future, deepest parts of me. I can find the future inside of me. I can find the future, deepest parts of me. Arising from the dead to find the spirit inside myself, taking love to the deepest parts of me. There's a power, the energy in my soul that sets me free, free. My heart is open to the heavens which supplies my source and is here. I can find my promise, I can find my future so clear, clear. I can find my promise inside of me. I can find my future, deepest parts of me. I can find the future inside of me. I can find the promise, deepest parts of me. Think about those moments when you were searching and you were looking real hard on the inside. I was looking and I found some good stuff because I kept searching. I kept wondering, do I have it? Am I good enough? Is it in me? It was always there. Spirit never left me. Deepest parts of me, inside of me. Somebody help me sing that. Deepest parts of me, inside of me. It's inside of you. Deepest parts of me. I don't hear y'all. Inside of me. If it's in you and you know it, come on, help me. Deepest parts of me. I can find the future inside of me. I don't have to worry about anything around me. Deepest parts of me. I can find my promise inside of me. I can find the future. Deepest parts of me. I can find the future. It's not up to the president inside of me. It's up to me. I can find my future. Deepest parts of me. I can find the future inside of me. My happiness. Find my promise. Deepest parts of me. One more time. Inside of me. Deepest parts of me. Last time. Inside of me. Remember that when you're struggling. Deepest parts of me. Thank you.
When I was a young child, I was challenged by a very difficult question that required me to make an absolute value judgment of myself. That is, a Mr. Santa Claus asked me, "Are you a good little boy or a bad little boy?" Nothing in between. So I was sort of good, hoping that sort of good was good enough. And a few days later, I found out it was. I got presents, new toys. It was great. Then, the next year, I got that same question, and I gave the same answer, hoping it was still good. And it was. And I realized something, not just about myself, but all the kids I knew, they were all sort of good, and they all got presents, every one of them. So I came to realize sort of good is good enough for all of us. Now, I did hear one grown-up say that bad children would get a stocking full of coal instead of presents. Although I never heard of that actually happening. I asked my father, I said, "So, what is this coal?" And he said, "Well, it's this black rock that people burn for heat." And I was like, a rock that burns? Cool. I want a big old sock of that and some matches. Wait till my friends see this. Never did get any coal, just as well. But I got something better. I knew that sort of good was good enough. And that really came in handy when I went to this place and learned some new things. It was called Sunday school. And I was told that there's this really, really good, wise, all-powerful guy who created everything. His name was God. And he had a son who really loved us little children. And I know that's true because there's a song about it. And they told us to be good. And they told us why. They said that when people live in this world, and then when they're through and they pass on, that the good people would go to heaven and be with God, the angels, and it was wonderful. It was just great, and you'd be there forever. And that bad people, well, they'd go to hell and be punished forever. But I was fine with that because I knew sort of good was good enough. That means everybody I knew, we're all going to heaven. Hell, that was probably for Hitler, a few other people, probably hardly anybody there. So I was pretty good. And another thing happened about at that time, that a group of us children were together and we heard a short talk from a minister that really impressed me. I still remember it. He said that if you want to avoid trouble, you can do this by thinking about God instead of the trouble. And I was like, wow, that really come in handy. Thanks, preacher. Wow. Now, at that age, trouble pretty much meant Mama was mad at me about something or another, okay? And it wasn't that long after that that I had an opportunity to try this out. Mama was screaming and yelling, just having a fit about something. But I was ready. Totally ignored her. And I was thinking about God. Oh, yeah, I was thinking about God. He's on that cloud. Oh, he's all radiant with goodness. He's so wise. He's got a long beard. Oh, robes. Oh, I'm just thinking about as hard as I can. And I was still in trouble. It didn't work. Matter of fact, I was in worse trouble because I was totally ignoring her. But at least I gave it a fair trial. Now, the years passed, and I got older, and I was a teenager. And I was thinking about what they told me, and I realized something, that what they told me about heaven and hell was not what they really believed. What they actually believed is that the people who agreed with their religious opinions and beliefs went to heaven, and everybody else, which was most people, went to hell. I'm thinking, that's not right. There has to be something better than that. And there was. Someone gave me a New Thought book. It was Power Through Constructive Thinking by Emmett Fox. Now, Emmett Fox was a major New Thought teacher and writer. He was a contemporary of Ernest Holmes, who was the founder of our version of New Thought. They both wrote books in the early and the mid-20th century. And this book Power Through Constructive Thinking, I read this book, and it changed me. It transformed me more than anything I have ever experienced since. I moved from a world of struggling with random circumstances and having the ability to appeal to a distant God and maybe getting a reply, to realizing I was already in a spiritual reality, an energy reality that expresses into this physical form according to natural and scientific law. And I had a new idea about God. That is, instead of a distant person, that God is the universal principle of goodness itself. That is the principle of all life, all intelligence, all creativity, beauty, joy, unconditional love everywhere. And that all of us are made out of this spiritual energy and principle. It's the essence of our being. And that every one of us has the exact same direct connection to God through our thinking and our awareness. And that there was a reliable law of mind that we could use. That there is a tendency for our overall consciousness to match up with our overall circumstances, and that if we can change our thinking, we can change our life experience, and particularly so if we do it from spiritual awakening. And about heaven, heaven is not a place anyone goes to. It's everywhere. That heaven is something where every one of us is on an eternal journey of awakening to. Now, in his book, Power Through Constructive Thinking, there are a lot of chapters about metaphysical Bible interpretation. And the Bible is not taken literally. That every single story in the Bible is a highly symbolic wisdom teaching for each one of us to learn spiritual development, spiritual awakening, and how to apply that in our lives. And after reading the chapters, each one about a different story, I began to get a sense of how this symbolism worked. There's patterns that repeated. Now, for instance, there are numbers. The number 7 is a God number. It's also infinity. 40 means there's a process to go through that may take a long time. And that places, such as countries, cities, buildings, quite often symbolized the mind. People would quite often symbolize a certain idea or ability within the mind. And you could tell which each one meant by looking at the name, which was in Hebrew, and translate that to English, and that would give you a clue. So I'll give you an example. There's a story of Jacob and Esau. And Jacob means to crush under your heel. It is getting your good from life experience by using force in circumstances. And that's what he did with his brother, where he stole his older brother's inheritance, ran off with it, and became quite wealthy. And then later, he decided he wanted to make up with his brother, get back with him. And he went through a number of things to do this, each one with its symbolism. But one of them I thought was pretty interesting, that one night he dreamed all night long he was wrestling an angel. And an angel symbolizes inspiration from the infinite mind of God. That it was a dream with struggle or wrestling all night, that means a deep and profound change in consciousness, including what we now call the subconscious mind. I am. And so, toward the end of the dream, he asks the angel for a blessing. And the angel said, okay, I will change your name. Now, name means the character of. It says, you are no longer Jacob. You are Israel. And Israel means God prevails in the long run. That's principle. So that he changed from using force in circumstances to depending upon divine principle of good to get his good. And then he reconciled with Esau. Esau means work. So that is, as whatever work he does in the world, he now depends on divine principle rather than using force. Okay? Now, every story in the Bible is like that. Every single one, something along those lines. Now, I read the whole book, and then I got a Bible, and I read that. And I said, okay, I think I got a sense of this, how you can do this metaphysical interpretation, okay. And then I got another book, and it was called the Bhagavad Gita. And that's a Hindu scripture from India. And I started reading that, and I'm thinking, it applies to this too. Now, I took a little adjustment. So instead of Hebrew names or Sanskrit, and there were a few other things. But you go right through it, same thing. And so what that told me about New Thought is that I could look at it as a spiritual teaching, even a religion, but I could look at it also as the spiritual light of all religions and all spiritual paths. That I could look at it that way. And he also had some chapters in there about prayer. Now, some of the chapters were spiritual mind treatments, and that is our form of affirmative prayer. I know a number of you are familiar with them that have certain steps that you go through. And these are not the prayers I was used to, which is basically begging for a favor to the sky, okay? And this was awakening to the presence of infinite good, that there was no separation. And it cracked open my heart, mind, and soul, and it's like, I can feel this presence of unconditional love and goodness simply because I was aware that it was possible. It's a natural thing that anyone can do at any time. So the first one I ever saw was called The Presence. And I'd like to share a little bit of it with you. It starts off this. God is the only presence and the only power. God is fully present here with me now. God is the only real presence. All the rest is but shadow. God is perfect good, and God is the cause of only perfect good. And it went on with that. And this is what we would call, the first step is the recognition of spirit. And the next step is called unification. And it is an absolute value judgment of a person as being of spirit. And I want to share a little bit of that with you. I am divine spirit. I am the child of God, In God I live and move and have my being, so I have no fear. I am surrounded by the peace of God. The peace of God fills my soul, and all is well. And it goes on. However, I think that if I knew this a decade or so earlier, when Santa Claus asked me that question, and that was my answer, I think I would have qualified for the whole toy store. Okay? Now, he had another chapter that was about a particular type of prayer that he came up with. It was a very short, simple type of prayer. And it's called the Golden Key. It's also published as a separate pamphlet. So who's heard of Emmett Fox's Golden Key? Anybody? No? Okay. So he starts out like this. Scientific prayer will enable you sooner or later to get yourself or anyone else out of any difficulty on the face of the earth. It is the golden key to harmony and happiness. I love that about New Thought, that it is an audacious invitation to experience pure goodness without limit, without any excuse. And I mean, I've been spending my life trying to prove this the best I can. And I tell you, the only limitation then is in my own mind, and I would rather have the limitations in my own mind than in my religion. Okay? So, how does this work? Going a little bit later, he says this. As for the actual method of working, it is, like all fundamental things, it is simplicity itself. All that you have to do is this. Stop thinking about the difficulty, whatever it is, and think about God instead. This is the complete rule. And if you will only do this, the trouble, whatever it is, will presently disappear. The thing could not be simpler, could it? And yet it never fails to work when given a fair trial. Now, does this sound familiar? Isn't that what that preacher told me a decade or so earlier? And I tried it. I gave it a fair trial, and it didn't work. Why not? Well, reading down here a little bit more, he says this. Do not try to form a picture of God, which is, of course, impossible. Work by rehearsing anything and everything that you know about God. God is wisdom, truth, unconditional love. God is present everywhere, has infinite power, knows all, and so on. It matters not how well you may think you understand these things. Go over them repeatedly, but you must stop thinking of the trouble, whatever it is. Okay, here's a couple of mistakes. I was thinking of a picture of God. Now, he says it's impossible, not if your idea of God is of person, but as principle, well, that's another thing I wasn't doing. I wasn't thinking of God as universal principle. And there's another thing, too. It's not in this chapter, but it's elsewhere in the book. He says, pray with a feather, not with a pickaxe. And that is because we don't put the power in the prayer. The power is already here. What we do is that we clearly, gently guide the power to flow through our awakening belief into the circumstances we wish to improve. And I'll tell you, I was pickaxing the hell out of that thing when I was doing it. I was doing it as hard as I possibly could. And because I was being yelled at the whole time trying to ignore that. So I was putting up this valiant attempt to do this. And I did it as long as I could. It must have been a solid 30 seconds at least. But now, I know, pray with a feather. the power already exists. And sometimes it takes a little bit more than 30 seconds. Sometimes it takes some persistence over time as our consciousness changes and as circumstances change. And so I read this book and I learned how to do this form of prayer. And at some point, I was able to change things. Maybe they weren't huge things, but I could do this prayer and things changed. And that is the most amazing thing, when you know that your prayer works and you know how to work it. And I know some of you are doing this. And it's like the first time it's like, woo, I am Superman. And when this happens, some things are not as important as they used to be. For instance, the past. Because the past doesn't determine the future. My current consciousness determines the future. Another thing is even present circumstances are not as important because they can be changed. Another one is, where am I on my spiritual path is not as important as the direction I am going. Okay? So, if I am using spiritual awakening to express an idea and reveal and transform my circumstances for the better, progressively more and more, even if it's a tiny amount, that is good enough. If I am using spiritual awakening to reveal and transform progressively better circumstances, even if they're very small, that is good enough. And after I read this, he mentioned there's a New Thought community out there. All these people using these techniques and transforming their lives in wonderful and amazing ways. And I wanted to find them. And it took me a while because the internet hadn't been invented. And I think when I first started out, I didn't even have a car, didn't have a driver's license. But I looked, and eventually I did. It took me several years, but I did find the community. Now, the first New Thought group I belonged to was very small. It was me and Emmett Fox, and Emmett Fox was dead. So there wasn't much conversation going on. That's funny every time, I swear. Now, it's true. Now, but I did find several groups. I found the Divine Science Church, of which Emmett Fox was a minister. Okay? And then I found Unity, the largest New Thought group. And then Science of Mind, this group. And it was so good to realize there were other people like me. And I belonged to a number of spiritual centers over the years, including here, Awaken. And it is very important to me because I can talk to you and I can listen to you in a deep way that I can't do as much outside of here. You are my people. And I am so thankful that you are part of this community and in this life. I'm very grateful. So, I'd like to close with a short story. One day, a Sunday school teacher told her class, "Now, children, I'd like you to share something about your relationship with God that is good." So, little Timmy raises his hand. He says, "Okay, Timmy, what would you like to share?" And he says, "Well, I know my parents love me very much, but God loves me even more. Very good, Timmy. So, anyone else? So little Sally raises her hand. Okay, Sally, you have something good about your relationship with God. She says, well, anytime that I'm upset or afraid, if I pray to God, I feel better. Very good. Anyone else? Then little Johnny raises his hand. Now, Johnny was always giving the wrong answer and getting trouble. He's a real handful. But the teacher says, okay, Johnny, tell us something good about your relationship with God. And he said, I want one of those electric bicycles. Those things are so cool. And he says, I know what I'm going to pray to God to give me one. And once he does that, that'll be a good relationship. And the teacher says, well, Johnny, you know, God's not like Santa Claus. So what I want you to do this coming week, just go home, get the family Bible, look through it, and see if you can find anything there about having a relationship with God that's good. So next Sunday, she says, well, Johnny, did you have a chance to look at the Bible? And he said, yes, I did. And I found something. He said, oh, good. What did you find? He says, well, it says that if you ask for God's forgiveness sincerely, then God will forgive you. She says, that's right. And he says, so what I did is I stole one of those electric bicycles, and I've asked for God's forgiveness, so we are good. This is a good relationship. Well, little Johnny may not have the best relationship with God, but we can when we use spiritual awakening to reveal truth that transforms and reveals good in our circumstances progressively more and more, because that is good enough for all of us. And so it is.
Wow. Wow. Y'all, come on. Y'all, let's give him another hand. Woo! I don't even have words. Thank you. Thank you. What a blessing. The monitor is out, but I'm going to need that. Yes. So I am here. I'm going to affirm the kids, and then we'll go into our conscious giving. But I couldn't just move past what we just heard. And if you're online and you're listening, wow. That, man, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That was a blessing. So before I go, let's just affirm our children, those who are, we don't have any in the room today, but those who are out there and the kid inside you. Children, we see you, we hear you, we appreciate you, and we love you just the way you are. Now, on the heels of Reverend Ned's talk, I'm going to say a little bit about giving. We know that giving is a spiritual principle. And so I just we're trying to be more intentional about it, be it here, we're here online, those of you in the community. What I want to say is that what I know for me, I have declared and decided that I am prosperous. And I know that prosperity is not just about monetary. It is, for me, it's about wholeness, it's about peace, it's about joy, it's about health and wealth. And so with me declaring that, I'm able to give from a prosperous perspective, not from a perspective of lack and limit and worry and doubt. And trust me, I'm not always there. I have to continue to return there, because when I'm fearful, I know that that's what I'm going to yield, fear. But if I'm giving from a place, not even about so much about return, but for me, and it's not about the amount, I don't believe. I believe that spiritually it's about my intent and giving from a place of joy, a place of release. And I've heard someone say it like this, it's like inhaling and exhaling. That which I take in, if I don't release it, just imagine yourself taking in a breath and not exhaling. That doesn't work. So it's money is just energy. It's a circulation. And what I'm going to share this with you too, guys, just real quick, is that I find myself, I get paid on commission. So I get decent sized checks. And so a lot of times I will give in lump sums. And so, but when I'm not able to give in lump sums, sometimes I'll be like, oh, I want to give that little bit. And it'd be like, girl, you. And so just kind of my own internal struggle with giving what I would perceive as a little bit. Give. It's not about the amount. It's about you're being led by spirit to give, and it's about being blessed. Listen. If you're not, I believe in giving where I am spiritually fed. And for me and for you in the community that are online, whether you're watching now or later, think about it. If you're tuning in, you're getting fed, whether it's from the talk, from the music, or from the community itself, just being connected. And even if you're not here, there's some part of you that is still connected with us because there is no separation and we're all one. So I just want to encourage you to give from that perspective, that you're being spiritually fed some kind of way. So we give to that which feeds us. Yes, yes? Yes, yes. So now join me in our conscious giving. I did it already. I did it already, and I'll do the... So, yes, if you guys join me, divine love moving through me, blessing and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God, for the good in my life. Yes, yes.
I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Oh, I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life. Oh, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for
Good afternoon. And now, let's drop down into that place, that spirit-led place within us. I know for myself, deep inside, there's a place where I sometimes see myself as not whole, as incomplete, as broken. And when I allow Spirit to enfold me, to support me, and to comfort me, that place becomes illuminated with that soft spiritual light. It's a place of comfort, a place I can rest, where my gifts of compassion, of self-love, intellect, and intuition present themselves to me. It's a place where I can be, a place where I can forgive myself, where I know that I can manifest this grace and realization that I am whole, I am enough, I am a perfect child of God, that I am loved, and that any imperfection of myself is my own creation, and that I have an ability to rise above and bring myself that love, that compassion, and sometimes that forgiveness that I need to feel. And I know that place inside me is filling with that spiritual golden light. It's like a bowl that the Japanese fill with gold when there's a crack, honoring that place and making it whole. I know the self-love for myself, and I know it for all of us. We are on the perfect path. We love ourselves as we love others. We are on our way together. We're never alone, and I know that I am never alone. God loves me. God enfolds me. His energy runs through me, as it does all of us. And so it is.
Reminding you that this song too is by Ricky Byers. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. We let the peace. We let the peace wash over. The sign-up sheets that are at the back, volunteers, those of you that are there are on that table. For the Halloween program, for tech booth, for setup, for cleanup, yeah, all of them, everything. For reader, everything, yes.
Oh, really? I've never read those. For the giving.
Reverend Ned, thank you.